If you're trying to memorize your keynote word for word, you're training yourself to sound robotic and you're killing your connection as a human. So I want to talk about this today in a video of how to stop doing this, right? Many speakers, they think memorizing equals professionalism. Now, yes, if you're like an actor, memorize your actual speech or your actual lines. There's nothing wrong with that, realistically. But as a keynote speaker, you must co-create. So I know for me, my job is to give a message that connects to the heart. And if somebody notices that I am doing something that feels robotic and I disconnect. I think about when you saw a speaker on a stage giving a talk and you could tell that they are like doing a performance of something that they've created well before that moment. You disconnect. You go, this person just up here giving a talk they've done 70 different times, right? It's not a real feeling. In reality, it often creates stiffness and panic and disconnection. And God forbid you forget a line. And all of a sudden you're in your head trying to find the sentence. And it's honestly, it's crappy. So don't do this, in my opinion. The best speakers, they don't memorize scripts. They master structure, knowing story, how to tell story, how to engage with the audience back and forth. So in this video, I'm going to explain why memorization fails and what actually works is delivery. Like having a space of choosing to perform in delivery, but knowing the structure of what you cover as an actual keynote. You can know the story you're going to tell, but you don't have to make it every single word for word way it comes out of you. You can choose the tempo, the pace, the engagement based on the audience and how they're receiving you in real time. If you don't do this, you're going to be a person up there where every time you give a talk, it'll feel robotic. That language will go out in front of you without you knowing it. I believe your speaking business lives and dies in the dark. Conversations had about you when you are not able to see the light of that conversation. It's beyond you, right? So we're going to talk about this now. Now, the first thing is memorization creates fear, not confidence. I think that there is a certain sense when I was trying to memorize every speech that I was afraid that what if I don't get this right? I got to say it just like this. Forgetting a line, it'll mess you up. Panic when something goes off script and something's different. Overthinking instead of connecting to people, it's an issue because you're overthinking what to say. But what if you just get out there and know you have confidence in telling stories and you know your stories? And you know what they need to hear from your story, right? For me, I know three things. I know my story. I know what you need to hear from my story because I've spent time, and I know how to tell stories, right? I know my story. I know what the audience needs to hear because I've researched them, and I know my story. So now I go, great, I got everything I need. It's rock and roll. What's different than you going to a party, meeting a stranger, and then going, hey, tell me your life story, and you just letting it ride? I mean, after a while, you get a chance to feel out like you know how to tell stories, how to keep it engaging and tell certain things and sidebars to get a laugh, little jokes. You know what they need to hear because you get to know them a little bit, right? And you get to feel kind of what their important things are for their life, what they're interested in. And you know what story you have and what parts can be brought up and brought down. So now my job is I'm not overthinking this thing. I'm connecting with somebody. I'm enjoying telling my story that comes out of me like a new gift every single time because they're feeling this newness come out. I know the story's points that need a reference to be brought to them, and I know how to tell these things. And they also are getting something from me that they have already shared they want. They know they need something on point A or point B. I'll emphasize that part of the story. So now I'm not memorizing every single line because what if you do memorize every line and that line doesn't land for that audience? You might have lost them right there at 5 minutes into the keynote. And for the next 55 minutes, you are waiting for it to end. And so are they, right? There's not a connection there. So my goal as a speaker is to go, all right, great. I'm going to get up here. I'm going to practice. And I do every single day. I practice telling stories. I practice talking. I do a weekday daily podcast. And I am consistently telling stories. Well, why? Because I want to make sure I'm always sharp with my storytelling skill set. Point two, I want to make sure that I'm telling stories in a way that resonate with the audience themselves. And so I'm making sure that as I connect and communicate, that the language I'm using fits them. If it doesn't, I shouldn't be telling that story to them in that manner. Because what if that language is really good for a corporate event, but then I go talk to kids? It's different. And I'm completely in a place of fear because I don't want to mess this up. What if it's odd? It will be odd. Don't do that, right? The second point is Hey, I hope you're enjoying this video right now. Now, I want to let you know that I developed a speaker quiz that reveals what your speaker type is, the strength of your type, and more importantly, how to capitalize on that type to build an impactful and income-producing speaking business. To get this quiz and take it and get the information you need, simply hit the link you see below in the description, or you can wait till the end of the video to head over and check it out. All right, that's it. Let's get back to it. Structure creates freedom. Now, structure in a sense of not memorizing, but structure in terms of what you should be covering, it creates freedom. You can know the flow, but not the words, and let it just kind of guide you. This is what I call co-creation, right? If I know the structure of my talk, if I know what is the first thing to talk about and why I'm talking about it, and the second thing to talk about and why I'm talking about it, and what they need to have as takeaways from those points, now I know the structure. And now I can just be me. I can show up in the nooks and crannies with my personality, with my jokes, with my banter, with the back and forth, with call outs from the audience when I feel like they're getting a little bit antsy, we'll call it. I can guide this whole conversation in natural flow. Now, it takes reps to get comfortable doing it, but take the reps as early as humanly possible in your career, because now what happens is you can flow. Now, what does some structure look like? Well, have a clear opening. Know what you want to get across in the opening. Know your transitions. Know for sure the way you want to close this keynote. Have an idea of what we're going to be building into, but you don't have to memorize every single word of what you're going to say. It'll cause undue stress in many ways. Now, if you're doing a TED Talk, maybe it's different. You're doing a 5-minute talk, maybe it's different. But a keynote, you better learn how to have a conversation in real time and make sure it flows. Bullet point anchors give you flexibility and presence also. So you want to bullet point ideas and thoughts. You don't read the bullet point. You have a bullet point become an image on the screen. That's your bullet point. It's taught you or told you, hey, cover this point, but they're seeing a picture that goes with the part of the story you're going to be covering. So here's the bullet point. I know what story I'm covering. Here's an image, prompts it. For me, they see a picture. We're off, right? And now I'm in a back and forth, talking, telling the story, laughing and joking, bringing things in from the previous speakers or the CEO is up there or what I know about their company in the public eye. Whatever it is, I can now talk to this, right? And I got to make sure that I do this with structure, not memorization. Now, number 3, audiences feel authenticity, not accuracy. It's okay to look stupid and mess up. It's okay to bumble on words every now and then. Own it. Don't try and be perfect, right? You're trying to be human. You want them to connect to you. But if you are trying to be perfect online and perfectly accurate with every word you say, no, you're gonna look rigid. You're gonna look uncomfortable. You're not gonna look human. Like I know for me in this video, I bumble over words. I go too fast sometimes. I stumble over my lip doesn't go as fast as I want the lips to. It doesn't work sometimes. But you know it's me. There's authenticity to who I am being in this real moment. People, they don't want perfect. They want real. You don't want to watch a video, even in this setting, you don't want to watch a video of a person, myself, being perfectly proper and teaching everything. And I want to make sure that may be for somebody else, but for me, I'm a guy talking to you. Here's how I flow. This is my humanity. And in doing so, you get to know a little bit more about me and feel me out. But there's more of a connection there than if I was perfectly positioned in the way I should be. And it becomes tiresome nowadays. Why even ads you watch or content online, people prefer it looking like I'm just talking to you on my FaceTime. Like, hey, welcome to my house. Here's my life. People like the real voyeurism to watch the humanity of you. Natural delivery, it builds trust faster than flawless recall. Like, I'm being serious. Like, if you think about the ability to land something on somebody's heart, flawless delivery of every word, like in a speech, I don't know if it's that important. In a play, yeah, get the play down, right? But a speech, just build trust with me. So where when I'm being my human being, when I do land that good point, you're like, I like this. I believe the dude. Why? I don't know. I just believe him because I can see as a real human that this person isn't put together per se in a way that's uncomfortable. It's who they actually are. So connection beats precision every time, in my opinion. You can be precise at every single word because you've practiced it a million times, but honestly, connection. Be you, be human, mess things up, bumble around every once in a while. Not every single word, right? But be human in how you deliver so I can feel like this is a person, if I was to hang out with them, this is what they would be like. And then when you are that person, you're more likable, you're more engaging. People connect to you so much better. Point number 4 now, how top speakers actually practice is different than what you think. See, rehearsal is something where I may rehearse transitions and key points, but I'm not practicing out loud every single word. But what I am practicing out loud is standing and moving and just letting my body flow. I want to be able to get to a place where I feel how I'm supposed to move and feel how I'm supposed to talk about certain points without thinking I have to say the words like that every single time. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to simulate the environment, not the script. Does it make sense? It's not about going, here's the actual words I have to cover, because I know that when I'm in that setting, the energy might be different than what I can think of right now. I might be on before or after somebody that's got high energy or low energy. Maybe the event is a different kind of thought of the event, so I have to change the way that my energy comes, but I won't know till I'm on that stage. But what can I know? Well, I can know how I move. I can know the way that I like to talk about things. I can know the kind of transition from point one to point two I want to cover. Now, again, not the exact words, but I know how I want to kind of go from this and then talk about this, and I want to flow through that. So I'll walk in and around my room and I'll do some things. Hey, I want to make sure I cover this point for you and just let it flow. I'll actually sometimes picture in my head the audience, their responses to me. Like I have no clue for sure, but I'll picture one time through a positive, engaging, over the top, experience. And then I'll also picture a stoic, quiet response of no one saying a word to me. How do I navigate that, right? And the thing is, the more you do this, the better you get at doing it in real time when you're actually on the stage and it all matters right now. Repetition, see? Repetition is the word I want to use. It builds familiarity, not memorization, right? If you want to get to the point of building familiarity, repetition is a thing that it should be a sense of how you feel, but not memorizing every single scripted word you have to say or it goes wrong. When you do that, it becomes troublesome and chaotic. Just think about, how do I flow through the feel of this? And the feel is going to be the game changer for you. Now, the last point is improvisation signals mastery. Think about that. Improvisation, the ability to just kind of improv and let it flow, that signals that you have a mastery of your information, of your stories, of yourself. Like I actually get on stage sometimes and tell people, hey, I know about 20% of what we're going to cover today. The other 80%, we're going to let it just fly. Let's go. Like I know the structure, I don't know the words. We're going to have some fun with it today. And I do that. Now, it's not that it's all truly improv, but it's heavily improv, and everything up to that may have been done before. It was improv at one point in time before it became something as a standalone or a standing piece in my keynotes. But truthfully, improv feels more enjoyable for you. It feels more natural because I'll be up there talking and all of a sudden someone says something or I remember something, and it's a great joke to throw in or a great thought to add in because of the setting and the situation that I would have never thought of and usually have never thought of prior to that very instant. And then I can choose to let it flow or button it back and keep it away and try to focus on keeping it away and staying on path. Here's my script, right? Nope. I bring that stuff in. Hey, it was crazy 2 weeks ago. So I just said that, but hey, 2 weeks ago, you don't know about this sidebar. And I go into the story about 2 weeks ago. And I bring it back out. I go, that happened. Then I come back to my keynote flow. Like the improvisation is huge because they're starting to see it's a real guy. Adaptability, it also shows confidence. The ability to improv and adapt to the situation at hand and what's going on right now in real time. That is something that so few speakers can do. And the ones that do it well are the ones that you feel most connected to. They're the ones that are having a blast up there, because when I'm doing that, when I'm letting my body roll, I'm responding to the room's engagement. And to be honest, that builds authority. If somebody can say something and in real time, imagine you watch that person from the audience say something to me, and I can take that in and then use it in the rest of my keynote throughout and call back to it. You're like, that's a pro. You're watching this masterful improvisation in real time. You are very clear. There's no way that was done before this moment. He just did that just now. That's why we love comedians who do crowd work. It's so quick. It's so witty. It's like astonishing how fast they can think and put things together and let it go. You as a speaker can do the exact same thing, but you have to practice it. So you have to get in a position where you're actually fielding conversations, having engagement, raising hands, and then knowing, be there before the talk so you can be able to recall things from before you went on that stage that they also saw and know about. So now you're bringing words and language in. They go, man, there's no way this was written before now. There's a masterful kind of an ownership to this ability for you to feel confident in what you're saying, and the audience can see and feel that even if their conscious mind doesn't notice it, it notices at a core heart level. So your job is to respond to that room in that manner, because the ability to pivot, it separates amateurs from pros. And that's what we're trying to do, trying to make you not an amateur, but an actual professional in what you do. And for all pros, you get paid pro money. Think about that. You can be an amateur playing around doing it or a pro. Pros, man, they play at a higher level with a higher game. There's more in the line for them, but they don't look like they're stressed because they know that they have prepared at a level well beyond what is needed in this moment. And what may be stressful to somebody else, walk in the park for them. You could walk me outside of my house right now, put me on stage in front of 20,000 people, and I would bring the house down. It'd be a blast. I'd have a ton of fun because I know the structure of my keynote. All I have to do is start off by engaging the audience early on, and I'll know exactly where to bring that talk, and it'll land perfectly. Not because I'm guessing, but because I've spent time getting good at not memorizing, but knowing how to flow through the discussion. So it's not this rote memorization. It's based on structure. Now, the goal isn't to remember every word, like I've said, is to make every word land. If you want help building a keynote that feels natural and powerful and even more so flexible, go to speaktofreedom.com. We do this very well. I would love to serve you in doing this. If not, stick around. I'll continue to keep making cool videos like this to teach you more and more. And then I will see you in the next video.